Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 3 of the ORL Maserati Cup, where today we're here at Long Beach. Really quite looking forward to this one. Overall, hopefully we can have a good solid night's worth of racing. Long Beach though is not a track that I enjoy. I do not understand the hype around it, and honestly, if there was any track I could get rid of in Forza Motorsport 7, it would probably be this one. I'm going to be completely honest with you on the whole. It's used in so many series and in so many cars that I personally just don't think suit this track. And I guess, you know, it's meant to be like a really tough challenge and everything else, but it does come down to a bit of a tuning fest, in all honesty. Yeah, you can see we actually made a lobby once again there. Well, I mean, we did make a lobby. I'd be surprised if Mitch, Mellish and Williams Roadrunner were all in B split there. But yeah, really quite happy with that one once again. Proved, you know, that Sebring wasn't a bit of fluke. You know, I'd like to think, you know, now we are starting to turn into a solid A-lobby driver week in, week out. But the lights are now out and into the lights out, and away we go then. We're going to get a much better start than AMS Tico there. I'm pretty certain he is using the traction control, so that's going to give us a huge advantage off the line. Personally, I actually found traction control a lot slower around here. I don't know whether it was just me. I was finding it was about half a second slower, while some of the other guys are finding it was about half a second faster. I guess it's just down to driving style there. Apologies to Mux. As you can see, I was just getting a nice punt in towards turn 1 here, and once again another punt going into turn 2. And we're all just getting stuck together. Myself and Tico both very lucky to be able to get out of that one there. I think that was Spectre, I think. Trying to look at the inside, it might have been AMS Chum. Even, sorry, I should say there, as we try to get out on to this back a little straight here, down in towards the next couple of corners. You can see we're just trying to get ourselves defending nicely there. Spectre just clipped the back of me there, which unfortunately meant that I couldn't really try and move my line whatsoever there. Obviously, you shouldn't be moving it too much in the braking zone nonetheless, and ultimately there wouldn't actually be much that would happen in this race. Really, the only other thing that would really happen would be AMS Traumatic had fought his way back through from P12 on the grid, one of the very quick drivers who was in AMS. Sadly, now he has left for EMV, excited to see what happens with those guys there. But yeah, here we get up the inside in towards the hairpin on a lap 10 there, and yeah, really, like I said, the only thing that happened in that first race of the night, which was very quiet, you know, just sort of holding position. We did have Traumatic all over the back of me for a good sort of 6 or 7 laps, but ultimately there was never an opportunity where he was able to look like he could get through until a lap 11 there. So yeah, very patient, very well timed in the end. Didn't get too frustrated, you know, try and punt me out wide or anything like that there, and yeah, credits on a very good move nonetheless there. And you can see by the end of the race, like I said, you know, I don't lie about these things. It would just be a quiet race there. Mitch will come through for the race victory there. Fantastic pace from the 3rd place man in the FRC World Championships there. And we would come through for P8, which ultimately, you know, I can walk away very happy with that one there. 8th to 8th in race 1 of the night would leave me starting in P8 for race 2 as well there. And you can see, having a look at the final race results from that first race there, you can see Mitch, Roadrunner, Mellish, Ridge, Mercs, Tico, Traumatic, myself, Kempachi, Renter, Chum. You can see, what's that? 3 Williams runners in the top 3. An Aerox, and then AMS all the way through from 5th through to 11th there, with Aerox Bobby down in at P12 there. Obviously, it's very much sort of team dominated this series. I don't think there's any. I don't even know where if there's with privateers in this series. Obviously, technically, I'm not EVR or AMS. Obviously, I'm just Radicals Online. But, you know, I'm representing AMS for this one. We got G-Brox and Neon, whoever his name is still. I think he's racing with GTR for this one, if I'm not mistaken there. Then Spectre, Nismo and Bowkit, unfortunately, was having Xbox issues. In fact, he had so many Xbox issues, in fact, a couple of days later, I'm pretty certain he broke it in the end there. So, yeah, he's hopefully getting a new one ready for next week's racing. But, yeah, there we go. Race 1 all over and done with their P8 at the end of the day. And like I said, we will therefore be starting in P8 for race 2 of the night. So looking forward to this one. Then Nismo, Spectre, Neon, Bobby, Chum, Renter, Kempachi, myself, Traumatic, Tico, Mercs, Ridge, Mellish, Roadrunner, and Mitch would round out the starters there. Unfortunately, Balkit, yeah, like I said, not making it to the start of race 2. They're very unfortunate. But there is a drop round in this series, luckily enough for most people there. Obviously, I didn't make race 1. But yeah, ready then on the grid for race 2 of the night. The lights are now on and the lights are going out now, and it's lights out and away we go. They get a much better start than Kempachi, another traction control runner, quite clearly there as we come down in towards turn 1. That's going to be us straight back up into P7 here. We're going to get a very good run actually on AMS Renter there as well as we come down this front straightaway here, breaking down in towards someone. We're going to try and hook it up right around the outside of Renter there. A little bit of contact with the wall through the corner there as he actually gives Bobby a little bit of a punt there. We get squeezed out on to the roundabout. They're trying to get the power down on the exit of the corner there, and that's unfortunately going to mean we're going to have to slot back down in at P7 there. But Kempachi's going to be able to go right around the outside there, and we're going to have to cut the chicane ever so slightly there. I was thinking he's going to try and commit to the corner nonetheless there. We're still side by side as we now come down this little back straight here. Are we going to be able to hold it around the outside? No, we're not. We're going to understeer out wide there, and that's going to be us back down into P8. So we've got Traumatic all over the back of me as well here. He's going to try another bit of a switchback move there. It took him about 8 laps to do it last time around. Is he going to be able to do it in just one this time around here? It's still a drag race down the straight. Obviously, I'm pretty certain we are on the identical setups here as we come now down in towards the final couple of corners of the lap there. Squeeze him out over the curbs a little bit more than I probably should have there, but he unfortunately drops the rear end ever so slightly in towards the final couple of corners there. This was the move he kept trying to make in race 1 there, but unfortunately it would not work out well there. I'm not too sure who that was. I think it was Ridge there that gave him a little bit of a punt there, but that was Traumatic right the way around, and that was me with a little bit more breathing room than I had ever expected there off the start. But on to lap 3 now. You see we're all over the back of AMS Kempachi here. We're going to try and get a good run down this back straight here. I think he's got a little bit of damage as we are gaining in quite a lot of time there. We try to get up the inside in towards the final couple of corners there, but it's going to give Aerox Ridge an opportunity around the outside here. Is he going to be able to make this move? Well, yes, he does. Slots it on the inside there. A fantastic job by him there, but gets the rear wing caught on the hairpin there. And I must say, all of us had a bit of a chuckle at that, even Ridge himself there. The rear wing hitbox on this car, so huge, he managed to get himself locked onto that final hairpin there, but sadly that would give Mellish the opportunity around the outside. They're onto lap 6 there, and we now have Traumatic once again trying to look to make the moves. I don't know what it was about this evening's racing, but look at that. Mellish clips the inside wall there. That was unfortunate for him, even more unfortunate there for AMS Kempachi. Wrong place at the wrong time there, but that is going to gift me P7 once again in this race there. Don't get the best run on the exit of the corner there, but we would still be able to hold on for P7 at this stage of the day. Is Traumatic going to be able to go for any sort of moves? He's going to dive it up the inside in towards turn 1 there. We sort of tried to commit to the apex there, but Traumatic just against the nose up at the inside, and we're all going to get a little bit bumping and bashing here. Mitch is going to unsettle me on the exit of the corner there. We just try to keep the nose nice and tidy there. Mitch cuts in ever so slightly there, but apologies for the contact on that one there. And yeah, it's all getting a little bit close quarters as we come on to lap 7 of this race. All the really, really quick guys now were starting to seek their way through towards the front of the field here, and we were just trying to defend with all our might here. But sadly, my defending kryptonite, Williams Roadrunner here, I don't know what it is, but Roadrunner is the one guy on this game I just cannot defend from. I think he's probably the master of the late breakers. That gives me a little bit of a punt actually into the wall as we come on to the back straight here. Yeah, this is why Roadrunner always seems to be able to get the moves on me. I break near enough as late as possible there. Roadrunner just slots it up the inside. Nice, cool, calm and collected, everything like that. And that is going to be him up in at 2P9 of the race. He gets a little bit of a tail end moment there, but yeah, he's on the inside in towards the hairpin. There is just no way you... Sadly, with the way Forza works, there is nothing you can do to try and defend from that. Renter, as we come onto the final lap, though, would have damage. So yeah, he would let me through, and up into P9 we go in this race there. But yeah, like I was saying, it's actually near enough impossible to try and get a switchback move there unless you get really, really good traction on the exit of the corner there. Sadly, the curbs on Forza are very, very strange. They actually sort of hook you up and give you a lot more grip than you'd find anywhere else on the circuit there, and especially that final hairpin at Long Beach is a really, really good example of that. So sadly, yeah, like I said, just nothing you can do if you're on the outside. The guy on the inside gets the curbs, clips the apex, and gets tremendous run on the exit of the corner there. So sadly, yeah, nothing you can really do on the outside there. But yeah, by the end though of race 2, it would be P8 to P9. This would be P8 to P8 in race 1 and P8 to P9 in race 2 there. Quite clearly a solid mid-pack runner there. Sadly, probably actually meant that I was one of the worst performers in this first race of the night. Overall in this evening's racing, because, well, consistency doesn't prove to be key. You're actually better off finishing race 1 a bit lower down and trying to get all the points you possibly can in a race 2 there. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate in that sense, but through the final couple of corners of race 2 of the night there, and it's going to be P9 at the end of the day. They're really quite happy with that one there. Once again, solid points in a lobby there, so really proving ourselves, you know, a good solid top 10 competitor in this series there. And I think, yeah, overall now we're on like 630 points overall there as well. But obviously it's a bit difficult to judge where we are with all the drop rounds and everything like that. But yeah, really happy with that one at the end of the day there. Spectre would finish ahead of Nisbo with Neon, Chum, Mitch, Roadrunner, Bobby Traumatic, myself, Ridge, Renta, Tico, Kempachi, Mercs, and Mellish would round out the order there. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here as well, and you do want to see more Forza Motorsport 7 content. This weekend, we are heading to Suzuka. Not a track that I'm a fan of on this game, but hopefully we can still have a good race nonetheless. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. As I said, get yourself subscribed if you're new around here, and I will hopefully see you guys next time for another video.